Do you want more Chicago Bears draft videos? Season's over. Only the Super Bowl remains, but the Bears are in full offseason mode after hiring Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus. If you want more Bears draft coverage, hit that subscribe button because coming up, Bears Mock Draft 1.0. Today's Bears Mock Draft is presented by Fetch Rewards. Get points by scanning receipts and then redeem those points for gift cards from several stores and restaurants, including Target, Walmart, Chili's, and Amazon. Chatsports.com/fetch. That's the place to download the app and start scanning your receipts today. All right, let's get into my very first Bears mock draft, as the NFL draft is less than 3 months away now, April 28th through 30th out in Las Vegas. Chicago currently only has 5 draft picks, and that's probably going to stay that way unless the Bears make some trades. Chicago not projected currently to get any compensatory draft picks. No first-round pick, no fourth-round pick due to the Justin Fields trade from last year. Now, Ryan Poles on his Monday press conference said this, quote, "We're going to build through the draft. We're going to acquire young, fast, and physical football players." So he made it pretty clear that his beliefs are building through the draft. He said they'll be selective in free agency. That's why I'm cooking up a fresh mock draft, and it was just time anyway. So here are what the Bears currently have with their draft capital. They have a number 39 overall pick. That's their round 2 selection. They have a third-round pick, number 71 overall. 2 picks in the 5th round, one of those coming from the Texans in the Anthony Miller trade. Also 1 pick in the 6th round. Again, no 1st and 4th. Also no 7th-round pick because part of that Anthony Miller trade was shipping out a round 7 draft selection. Okay, before we get into this Bears mock draft, answer this question for me. Will the Bears make trades for more draft picks? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Let us know what you guys think on this one, and then we'll start our Bears mock draft. Mock Draft 1.0 time, and at 39 overall, I select wide receiver Jahan Dotson out of Penn State. If you're not familiar with his work, electric playmaker, really good yards after the catch guy, elite speed, can line up in the slot, can line up outside. This guy is just a pure playmaker, and he has experience as a punt returner too, so he could come in and be your punt returner right away. We'll see what happens with Daz Newsome. We'll see if the Bears bring back Jakeem Grant. But a guy like Dotson could come in and play that role for you as well. You look at his career at Penn State, got playing time right away as a freshman. Only 13 catches, 203 yards, but you saw the growth, right? 2019 had almost 500 yards and 5 touchdowns. 2020 really broke out with 52 catches for almost 900 yards and 8 touchdowns. And then this year in his senior season, almost 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns. This guy is explosive. He's fast. He fits the bill of exactly what Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus were talking about. Like, hey, we want young, fast, explosive players. That's Jahan Dotson in a nutshell. And like I mentioned, he's a good punt returner. 25 returns in his career. They would selectively use him. 13.5 on the average, and then a touchdown as well. So he is a very, very good player. He's fast. He's really good after the catch. I think he fits exactly what Justin Fields' strengths are currently as a quarterback. He can run the deep routes, deep crossers, beat man coverage in that way. Jet sweeps, you can use him, in gimmicky ways as well. Just get him the ball out in space. I think he would fit what Justin Fields and what this offense wants to do moving forward, which we don't know exactly the type of how the offense is going to look, but we know what a lot of his strengths are, and I think Dotson fits those strengths really, really well. I would love this pick in the 2nd round. Other players that were on the board here in round 2, Trent McDuffie, defensive back out of Washington. Nicholas Petit-Pierre, offensive tackle, who got worked against Michigan, by the way. Zion Johnson, the offensive guard out of Ohio State. Breece Hall, the Iowa State running back. And then Sam Williams, the edge rusher out of Ole Miss as well. Also played part of his college career at Pittsburgh. So those are some of the other players on the board. Okay, let me ask you this question. Who wants free gift cards? Simple question. Type me if you do. If you don't, I guess don't say anything. But who doesn't like free and who doesn't like gift cards? It's basically money for specific stores. Type me in the comments if you want free gift cards, because I'll tell you how you can get some. Thanks to our sponsor, the Fetch Rewards app. You scan receipts, you earn points, you can cash them in for gift cards. That's how this app works. Download it today at chatsports.com/fetch. chatsports.com/fetch. That's chatsports.com/fetch. And I'll show you a little demonstration on how easy it is once you build up enough points by scanning those receipts to redeem to get an Amazon gift card. You just click that rewards tab there at the bottom of the app, and it gives you a lot of different options of what you can choose to cash out those points once you build up enough. Basically, once you get above 10,000 points, that's when you can start cashing out for gift cards. There's a bunch of different stores available, but if you want an Amazon gift card, boom, you're able to do that. Target, Walmart, other restaurants as well. Chatsports.com/fetch. It's free. You scan receipts. You get gift cards for free. Sure, it takes a little bit of time to build those points, but the effort is minimal. Hey, you buy dinner, scan the receipt, takes 10 seconds, boom, you get like 50 points. I mean, it adds up over time. I'm already up to like 7,000 now. Chatsports.com/fetch. Plus, get 3,000 bonus points with our special promo code BEARS to get things started, get the ball rolling. Download the app today. Link is in the comments and in the description. Let's keep this mock draft going here. Alec Lindstrom, the offensive lineman out of Boston College, center to be specific. He is one of the top centers in this draft. And let's be honest, the Bears need to upgrade from Sam Mustipher. Sam Mustipher, valiant effort, this year is the full-time starter. He's a backup to me. I don't think he's good enough to be a starting center. And Ryan Poles has made it pretty clear he's going to look at this offensive line. I mean, he's got that's in his background. This is a position group that hasn't been that good. James Daniels, free agent. Mustipher could be gone as well. We'll see how they feel about Tevin Jenkins and Larry Borum. Is Borum a tackle? Is he a guard? Is Jenkins a left tackle? Is he a right tackle? A lot of things to figure out on this offensive line. It is also possible that Cody Whitehair could move to center. And if that's the case, then maybe you draft a guard instead. So we'll see what happens there because Whitehair is under contract, and he probably will remain on this roster for at least one more year. So a lot of things to figure out. I drafted a center in Lindstrom, but certainly possible that they could go in another direction. Other players on the board here in round 3, Ed Ingram, the guard out of LSU. Good player, major off-field red flags, including a sexual assault allegation. Abraham Lincoln, one of the greatest presidents ever. Abraham Lucas, offensive lineman out of Washington State. Leon O'Neal, the defensive back out of Texas A&M. Devontae Wyatt, defensive lineman out of Georgia. And then Brandon Smith, the linebacker out of Penn State. I want to know, what is more important for Justin Fields to him moving forward? You think it's wide receiver, or you think it's offensive lineman? First two picks have covered each of those spots, right, with Jahan Dotson and Alec Lindstrom. But what do you think is more important? Type WR for wide receiver or type OL for offensive line? No fourth-round picks, so we jump to the fifth round in this mock draft. Tariq Castro-Fields out of Penn State, so 2 Nittany Lions in my mock draft. Good size, 6 foot, almost 200 pounds. I like that. Has shown good man-to-man coverage traits. You'll see some zones, some man concepts in Matt Eberflus's defense moving forward. He had some good press coverage tape as well, playing at some tough receivers in the Big Ten, so I like that. And what I like as well, this guy played 5 years at Penn State. Took advantage of the COVID year, came back for a super senior season in 2021, played in all 5 years, got a lot of experience, got better and better over time. Bears clearly need help at cornerback. After Jalen Johnson, it's a huge question mark. I don't know if Kendall Vilder's a viable piece moving forward. I'm not sure how the new regime will feel about Thomas Graham Jr. Hopefully he returns and is a part of things, but we don't really know. Duke Shelley, he was okay at times last year before he got injured. But, yeah, I mean, after Jalen Johnson, it's very unproven across the board. So we'll have to wait and see how this new regime views this quarterback position in Chicago. Castro-Fields, if nothing else, brings experience, and that is valuable for a day 3 selection. 2 picks later, because remember that last one was actually from the Texans in the Anthony Miller trade, and then this one is the Bears' own 5th-round pick. Charleston Rambo, a player who played a few years at Oklahoma, then transferred to Miami. I watched him quite a bit at OU because I live down here in Big 12 country and love college football. Really good speed. Good yards after the catch guy. And he can, kind of like Jahan Dotson, he can play in the slot or on the outside. He's got good size. He's over 6 foot. But you can play him inside or out. Probably an outside receiver, but I think he can play in either spot. Really good year at Miami. Transferring, I think, paid off for him. He was had a good year his sophomore year in 2019, but kind of took a step back in 2020. Really had a nice season this year for Miami, almost 1,200 yards, 15 yards per catch. His sophomore year at OU, when he got on the map, that's when I watched him quite a bit. He averaged like 18 yards a catch. I mean, he's really, really good in space after the catch. A lot of touchdowns in his career. I like him quite a bit. If you can get him in the 4th or 5th round, obviously no 4th round pick, but in the 5th round here, I think that's excellent value for the Chicago Bears. Some other players on the board at this time: Michael Clemens, the defensive lineman out of Texas A&M; Zacoby McClain, linebacker there; Lucas Kroll, the tight end out of Pittsburgh; Jason Hines, a guard out of LSU; and then Kirby Joseph, the defensive back out of Illinois. Name a player that you want the Bears to draft this year. I want to hear it from you guys down in the comments. Doesn't matter when in the draft, 2nd round pick, 3rd, whoever you want. Just name a player you would like to see the Bears draft, even if it's somewhat unrealistic, someone that could go in the 1st round. All right, final pick of Bears Mock Draft 1.0. 1.0 means that there will be a 2.0 and 3.0 and so forth. Transferred from Clemson to Virginia Tech this year, put together his best season in 10 games, this being Jordan Williams, the defensive tackle out of Virginia Tech. I think this would be an interesting selection because shifting to a 4-3 defense, he kind of fits the build of a 3-tech. 6'1", 290, so he's not one of these 330-pound bowling balls like Kyrus Tonga types. I think you could use one of these more agile defensive tackles, which is what Jordan Williams would be. Had a productive season this year for the Hokies. Could come and be a rotational guy for you, I think, at the next level. Other players hanging out at this selection: DJ Davidson out of Arizona State. Looked at him, but he's 325, so I kind of opted with more of a 3-tech guy. Tyler Batty out of Missouri, running back there. Nick Cross, the safety out of Maryland. Bo Melton, the wide receiver out of Rutgers. And then Jesse Lakuta, the Penn State linebacker. So those are the other players on the board for this final selection. So just to recap each selection. Round 2, Jahan Dotson, the wide receiver out of Penn State, really explosive playmaker. Round 3, Alec Lindstrom, the center out of Boston College. We know offensive line is going to be a point of emphasis. Tariq Castro-Fields, the cornerback out of Penn State, the first of 2 5th-round picks. Charleston Rambo, the other speedy, explosive wide receiver that's played at Oklahoma and Miami. And then Jordan Williams, the defensive tackle out of Virginia Tech. Those are my 5 selections in Bears Mock Draft 1.0. We'll certainly see how things shake out moving forward. So grade my Bears first mock draft for 2022, A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments.